evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. Thunder Bay Police have now confirmed that the death in the inner city area on Friday is now being treated as a homicide. Officers were originally sent to a weapons call around 2:30 Friday afternoon at a home on McMillan Street near Pacific Avenue. That's where police found the body of an adult male and immediately called in the major crimes and forensics units. As a result of the ongoing investigation, police are now treating the death as a homicide. A large police presence is still in the area as they hold the scene and are asking the public to avoid the area. A post-mortem examination is pending. On another note, 2 Southern Ontario suspects were arrested Saturday following a traffic stop that led to the seizure of an estimated $15,000 of drugs, including cocaine, crack cocaine, crystal methamphetamine, and fentanyl. Police also confiscated what they say is a loaded modified AR-15 assault rifle. Both 19-year-old Melina Taylor of Kitchener, Ontario, and a 17-year-old male from Toronto were arrested and charged with multiple drug trafficking offenses and weapon charges, along with failure to comply with a release order. Both appeared in bail court today and were remanded into custody with future appearance dates. Now on to a lighter note. The first day of the 32nd Festa Italiana was the place to be today as thousands flooded the Italian Cultural Center to get a taste of some authentic Italian food. As Jessica Clement explains, organizers were thrilled to welcome back the community to an almost normal event.
This year's Festa looked a little more like what residents would expect from the event, but with only 2 booths handing out food. Despite this, everyone was still excited to try the homemade Italian cuisine. Event chairman Benny Melchiorre says this year has given him hope for next year.
You know, it feels really good and give us an incentive and give us energy that for next year, for sure, we get back to our normal Festa. But today, it really feels like a normal Festa with the people coming around and all the excitement, listen to the music and dancing. And so it's almost a regular Festa.
The weather wasn't too kind to the event today as it started raining halfway through. Residents remained resilient, however, and continued to wait for their food. We spoke to some of the residents at the event who are all happy to see the parking lot filled with people again.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. You know, it's a long time we didn't see that.
It's nice to see a lot of people here, and hopefully the weather holds out pretty good. It's time to sprinkle.
I like it, yeah. Some faces I haven't seen for a while.
Live music and the beer tent made their return to the event as well, as residents had the chance to listen to the classic rock band The Hoolies while drinking and eating their food. If you missed a little taste of Italy today, don't worry. The Festa Italiana will run again on Monday from 12 to 8 p.m. at the Italian Cultural Center on Algoma Street. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Thunder Bay's Community Economic Development Commission is relaunching their funding program for Indigenous entrepreneurs in northwestern Ontario. The program aims to help First Nations people start up, expand, or buy an existing business. The program involves helping entrepreneurs with writing a business plan and applying for $5,000 in funding. Those entrepreneurs chosen to receive a grant will also get a 3-month mentorship with experienced professionals that help them in executing their business plans. Kathleen Sawdoe, CEO of Sister Bear Designs, and her family were one of 7 successful applicants to receive funding. The business is run by 4 generations of their family, and they sell traditional art, beadwork, and clothing. The grant gave them the opportunity to expand their product lines to include Indigenous foods.
Was essential in getting us that startup to be able to explore Indigenous food sources, suppliers, making our own Indigenous food, and then bringing that to the general public.
Funding is very critical at this time, coming out of the pandemic, coming out of lockdowns, to be able to assist entrepreneurs in achieving their business goals. So whether that be maybe they're opening a new storefront, maybe they are expanding to a new location, but it is helpful to connect entrepreneurs with different partners and provide them some funding support as well.
Applications are now open for the second round of grant funding for the program and will close on Thursday, September 22nd. Good news for travelers who forgot to fill up the tank before leaving Thunder Bay bound for the North Shore and beyond. The town of Dorian is getting a gas station. It's just the latest addition to the Canyon Country Co-op since it opened its doors 4 years ago. Adam Riley has more.
Within the next few weeks, fuel pumps in a tank that will contain both regular and diesel fuel will be installed at Canyon Country Co-op. The store first opened in 2018 with a small cafe and a selection of grocery items. However, since then, the store has grown and evolved to expand its selection to include locally produced products, as well as an LCBO agency store, a propane exchange program, a lottery terminal, and several other smaller seasonal businesses, including a grill shack, a fruit stand, and an ice cream stand. Co-op President Marvin Broughton says this marks the next logical step for the store, noting the community once had several fuel stations along the highway.
One person died. Another person was bought out by the new highway going through. Another one burned out. All of a sudden we're down to zero. And it's a pain having to drive either 20 or 30 kilometers either way to get fuel. Not impossible, but it's just a nuisance. So and local people are very supportive of having the fuel.
The co-op is just waiting on an underground infrastructure locate from Hydro, according to Broughton, who had one done last year, but fortunately and unfortunately later realized those are only valid for a short period of time. The success of Canyon Country can be measured in several ways, especially with its membership, which consists of just over 500 people, almost double the population of Dorian itself, as well as a loyal seasonal customer base, specifically campers.
So we have 200 or 300 seasonal campers within 15 miles. So they have everything they really need here. They don't have to go back to Thunder Bay or wherever they come from, where they run out of stuff. They're very happy. And we're getting more and more of our local people shopping here. Not full shopping, because we don't have fresh meats, we don't have fresh vegetables, stuff like that. But most of the basics.
There are more expansions and endeavors in the works for Canyon Country Co-op. However, Broughton is remaining tight-lipped but upbeat about those plans. Adam Riley, TBT News.
Summer tourism season is alive and well across northwestern Ontario, despite concerns over the rise in gas prices earlier this year. Prices have stabilized or gone down to below $2 a litre, except in some northern and remote communities. And while they still remain high, it doesn't seem to have an impact on many people traveling for a summer vacation. That's good news for tourism agencies, including Superior Countries' Dan Bellavacqua, as he says the organization, while it is a little shocking that gas prices didn't have a negative effect, the pandemic forcing people to lock down for so long has now pushed people to want to get out and explore. However, he notes there are some parts of the tourism sector which have yet to fully recover from the last 2 years.
Talking to stakeholders, bookings are around the same. Now, it all depends on what kind of product we're looking at. When it comes to touring numbers, motels and hotels, numbers seem quite consistent with previous years prior to the pandemic even. But however, with fishing and hunting lodges, numbers are down. But again, it doesn't seem to be due to the rise in fuel costs, more so border restrictions.
Several tourism agencies have pushed the federal government to loosen those border restrictions, and Bellavacqua hopes those efforts will be successful as they will have an impact on businesses in the Northwest. The second ever cohort of Lakehead University's Ascend Accelerator program has graduated. 6 students with 5 business ideas recently completed the 12-week intensive program through Ingenuity, the university's business accelerator. Over the course of the boot camp style program, each group developed their business idea through workshops and mentorship and received up to $7,500 in funding through FedNor. One business, Portal North Inc., has already secured a first contract, designing a virtual 360 tour of Ingenuity. The others are in testing phases or plan to launch in the coming months. Nursing student Maxwell Robinson says the program was really helpful as someone coming with no business experience.
So my business is Infusionist. It's an iOS and watchOS app for nurses to calculate drip rates and infusion rates and better manage their care tasks through notifications on their smartwatch and phone.
This cohort has worked so hard, and it's just so great to be able to recognize them today and hope they recognize how hard and committed they were to the program as well.
The other business projects include an inclusive lash studio, an accessible music program, and a computer vision software company. We're now joined by sports anchor Kurt Black. Now some very sad news coming to the sports world, a loss of yet another legend.
Yeah, it's been a tough year, Mitch. You know, first with Mike Bossy and Guy Lafleur, and then today we lost NBA legend Bill Russell. We'll have all the reaction of the loss of sports' greatest ever champion right after this break.